Hey everyone, welcome back to A Bar Above. So today I wanted to share with you one of my favorite discoveries of summer of 2014. Now it's not a mixtape or a movie or anything like that, but I think it'll be really helpful, and this is something I use on a lot of other things other than cocktails, so stay tuned. So a few months ago we did a video on fat washing, and the idea was I was going to take the fat wash alcohol and then add it to salt to create a bacon or prosciutto infused seasoned salt. Now that didn't work out really well, and the fragrance and the flavor was just not really there. So what I did instead was I made a seasoned salt out of it, and it's a couple step process, but this is something I used in a cocktail over the summer, and it was absolutely fantastic. So it was a brand new tequila company launching a product in the Bay Area here, and the tequila itself was really nice and earthy, and the prosciutto tied well into that. You had that kind of sweet earthiness in the prosciutto. You had the same thing happening in tequila, and I made essentially a tequila old-fashioned with a melon puree, and it turned out absolutely fantastic. And the prosciutto and the melon worked out really well together, especially when you added the tequila. But as a side note, I've used this prosciutto salt on a lot of different things since then, and my wife kind of shakes her head in disbelief on all the things I try to use it on. So today what we're going to be doing is going through the steps of making a seasoned meat salt that you can use on cocktails and a whole lot more. So there's two main concerns whenever you're doing any kind of seasoned salt. The first thing is when you're working with a product like this that has a high oil content, that oil will get in the salt, it'll make it moist, and it will never really dehydrate. So the first thing you're going to want to do is extract as much of the oil as possible. And we'll show you how to do that here in a minute. The second thing is moisture. So you want to get rid of as much water content as possible. Now if you're using something like lemon juice or even Worcestershire sauce, I made a clear Bloody Mary over the summer, and I used a Worcestershire or Bloody Mary seasoned salt. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of liquid in it. So an easy trick to do is just put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, maybe a minute at a time, and extract as much of the water out as possible. And it's a really easy, quick trick. And it's a great way to make a seasoned salt very, very quickly. So now let's go ahead and make the prosciutto salt. So the first step that we're going to do is saute everything up. You're going to want to extract not only the water out of this, but as much of the oil as possible. So we're just going to add it to a saute pan over medium heat with a little bit of olive oil to get the process started. And we're going to let it sit there for about 5 to 10 minutes, and you want to get it nice and crispy. Now while it's nice and crispy, we're going to take it out of the pan and set it on paper towels and try to extract as much oil out of that prosciutto as possible. And then from this point on, we're going to add the dried prosciutto now to a roasting pan and put it in the oven at about 300 degrees for about 5 minutes or so. Once again, this is going to warm up the remainder of the oil that's in the prosciutto, and we're going to have an easier time removing as much of the oil as possible. So now that we have a pretty dry, pretty non-oily prosciutto, what we're going to do now is allow it to cool, crumble it, and put it in a food processor to turn it into really small particles. And then from that point on, we're just going to be adding salt and figure out the proportion that we want to achieve, kind of the flavor we're looking for. So yeah, have fun, experiment, and let me know what you come up with. Head on over to our website, abarabove.com, and leave a comment in the comments section. I'd love to find out what you guys are working on, some of the crazy salts that you've come up with, and how you've used them not only in cocktails, but in food as well. So we'll have some more videos for you in the future, but until then, have a great shift and cheers. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, find us on Google+, or visit us at abarabove.com.